Africa is one of the most climate vulnerable regions globally, experiencing a faster rise in surface temperatures than the global average, alongside more unpredictable weather patterns. Sub-Saharan Africa, which comprises the majority of the continent's land area and population, has been hit by a surge in extreme weather events such as heat waves, drought, floods, and cyclones. Professor Nana Ama-Kloche is a lead author contributing to the IPCC SIF assessment report.
In the climate system, there's nothing like small. So if we say Africa contributes only 4%, it's still not doing any good to the global warming. It is used, of course, for negotiations, because some countries have contributed so much to the global warming or the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. However, it doesn't mean Africa should, contribute more to the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. I always use a glass that is already full of water as an example. Ours may be just a little drop onto the glass that is already full. We don't know when it will overflow. So that little that we are contributing could cause the glass of water to overflow.
According to the World Meteorological Organization's 2022 report, these events have caused significant loss of life and billions of dollars in economic damages. The IPCC in 2022 said a large portion of the population in sub-Saharan Africa works in climate-sensitive sectors like agriculture, making them even more susceptible to the impacts of climate change. Professor Kloche again.
We already have the impact of climate change that is huge on Africa and many vulnerable communities, especially in Africa. And so we should do our best to help mitigate the issue of global warming. Currently, we have a situation along the Ketu South area, where sea level rise has caused coastal erosion and displaced a lot of communities along that side. As we speak, there is an emergency there where the EPA is moving in to assess the situation and call on government for support.
This is where the training for civil society organizations in Ghana becomes crucial. Samuel Doche is the Chief Executive Officer of Hattof Foundation.
So this training that we are doing here is to give capacity to the civil society organizations in Ghana to understand the requirements of the fund, to understand the technicalities that are involved in putting up the project proposal. Because it is not easy for somebody to give you money for free. So you have to present a proposal which should be very bankable, that when the person, after reading it, when you are not with him, the person can come to the conclusion that what you are asking for, when I give you this money, it is going to translate into exactly what you wanted to do. That is what we are trying to do over here.
The first 3-day training, a partnership between Hattof Foundation and the Climate Finance Division of Ghana's Ministry of Finance, has been pivotal in equipping civil society organizations with the knowledge and skills they need. Participants are learning not just theory of climate finance, but practical approaches to developing, monitoring and implementing climate change projects. Ransford Nisaki is from CASA.
With this program, I've learned how to be able to connect our project with both national and international policies and treaties. And also, I've also learned that my project should also, the project at CASA that we will develop, should not be only Ghanaian context, but it will also have an influence on international boundaries as well.
Another participant, Paulina, who is also from RAIN, shares her experience.
I know different funding organizations have their own criteria. So if you are able to know, especially with the GCF, we are able to know their criteria, how we can go about it, then we'll be able to target any proposal that we write towards them so that we'll be able to get funding to support our projects.
Dr. Duche says over the years there have been significant efforts to build capacity in Ghana's climate change sector, but there are still gaps. The project, funded by over $442,900 grant from the Green Climate Fund, supports the implementation of Ghana's nationally determined contributions (NDCs) under the Paris Agreement. Dr. Duche says participants will soon embark on an intermediary and advanced training designed to strengthen their capacity to develop bankable and high-quality climate change projects aligned with the national priorities.
Let me add that globally, when the fund was established in 2010 and started operation, Hatton Foundation is the only NGO in Africa and the second NGO in the world that was able to access the money directly from the fund through a direct entry access from from Senegal, with the courtesy of the Ministry of Finance, the Climate Financing Division. So we want to translate that capacity. We want to diffuse that knowledge to other CSOs so that collectively we can also even support the government of Ghana, because it is not just easy for even national institutions to access the money.
Professor Kloche, who now heads the Environmental Protection Agency, emphasizes the importance of such partnerships in tackling climate change. She also mentions that mitigation efforts are not just about planting trees, but extends to how energy is used in daily lives.
Typically, people think mitigating climate change is just about planting trees, of course, which is good. It also means that we should not cut the trees that we have already, so we have to afforest. So planting trees is part of the actions for mitigating the warming that we have. There are lots also that individuals are supposed to do in terms of saving energy, because most of our energy usage are from fossil fuel, which actually when we use, we add greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. So when we are limited or we use energy sufficiently, limitedly, then we save greenhouse gases that normally go into the atmosphere.
With this new knowledge and skill set, civil society organizations will be ready to lead the way in developing sustainable and climate-resilient projects that not only meet international standards but also contribute to the well-being of communities across the country. A report by Mohammed Nurudeen.